What is up, guys? Tejas here from 11 Gauge Recordings. Welcome to part 5 of this series where I'll be getting into how I process my mix bus. If you haven't watched it yet, you can watch my previous videos on mixing guitars, mixing bass, mixing drums, and the things that you have to remember before getting into a professional recording studio. Please like and subscribe to the channel for a lot more content. So let's just get into how I process my mix bus. So most of these, actually all of these plugins are part of my mixing template. So I just switch it on as and when required. So this is a chain of plugins that I use. I start with an HEQ, just minimal EQ moves, removing out certain frequencies that ring out throughout the mix. I then have one of my favorite plugins. This is the emulation of the SSL bus compressor, FG Gray by Slate. Revival for a bit of harmonic excitement. A trimmer just to control the gain if required. A little bit of console saturation. That's then followed by VTM for some of that tape magic. I just add this stereo spread so that I just get a little bit of spread. As you can see, I just increase it from 1 to 1.2. That's it. Not too much going on there. A bit of JST clip. Again, not much going on here. This is then followed by a small EQ move. Like I just remove a bit of 400 and a bit of 4K. That's about it. Nothing much. So this actually precedes my maximizer or limiter at the end. I just take out frequencies below around 35-40 Hertz just so that it doesn't interfere with the limiter. So here's the limiter, final limiter, and maximizer. So that's about it for my mix bus chain. So what I'll do is I'll just bypass all my mix bus plugins and I'll bring everything in one by one so you can see what each plugin is doing. So let's just start with this part of the song. The song is called Don't Get Too Comfy from my upcoming EP. So I actually mix the song into these plugins. So I don't think I've heard the mix without these plugins on. So it'll be interesting to hear how it actually sounds with all these Mixbus plugins off. So let's just bring these in one by one. Here goes. that's about it for the mix bus. Like I said, I have these plugins on my template, and it's just a matter of switching it on or off depending on the song. But I usually keep it on because all of these are very subtle moves. So that's about it for the mix bus.